Bhaswati Mukherjee, what's wrong in asking for the Prime Minister, to come out and give a message against this culture of hatred? Look at what we're reporting on a daily basis. We're reporting on clashes, on violence that has erupted in remote pockets of country. These are stories that we continue to report on a daily basis. They've only risen since the Ram Navami, Hanuman Jayanti clashes, small such instances. In appealing to the Prime Minister to break his silence as somebody, who the country sits up and listens to, what's wrong?
Well, first of all, Rishika, I have to say that I agree with Aruna ji, whom I know well and I met many years ago and have the highest respect for her, that I don't think this debate should be structured as letter versus letter, a group of bureaucrats versus bureaucrats. Let me try and put it in a perspective for you. The perspective here is that the earlier letter, which definitely anyone has the right in a democracy to write anything, bothered me because it talked about fault lines which have existed in India from before partition, brought about by colonization, and which led to partition. What bothered me was that as bureaucrats or as ex-bureaucrats, we have all worked with those fault lines to make sure that governance, human rights, rule of law are respected, minority rights, etc. And this letter gives the erroneous impression, in my opinion, with the highest respect for the other two of my colleagues present with you today, that there is something fundamentally wrong with the state of the union, with communal relations, that the country's governance system is on the verge of collapse, that minorities don't feel safe, and that combined with the kind of hate narrative against India which is currently coming from the West is a very powerful weapon to denigrate India both internationally and to give the erroneous impression to Indians in India, people like you and me, that there is something so seriously wrong in the country that constitutional mechanisms are not able to deal with it, that my colleagues, respected colleagues from the civil services are being obliged to address that kind of letter. But that letter, in my opinion, was based on a distorted reality of India. And our letter, if you want to put it that way, though I don't want to put it letter versus letter, so I'll say our communication tries to set the balance straight. And if you look at the second last paragraph, Richika, it clearly says that there is nothing wrong at all in constructive criticism. Not at all.